If you're looking for an awesome product at a great price, be sure to check out the link in the description. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has described Israeli claims denying a starvation crisis in Gaza as beyond comprehension, a statement echoing growing international concern over the humanitarian catastrophe unfolding in the war-torn territory. The Prime Minister's rebuke directly targets comments attributed to both Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Deputy Israeli Ambassador Amir Meron, who reportedly dismissed photographic evidence of starvation as part of a Hamas-led disinformation campaign. This stark denial, according to Albanese, is incomprehensible given the overwhelming evidence presented by the United Nations and numerous humanitarian organizations documenting widespread hunger and death among the Palestinian population. The Australian Prime Minister's condemnation further highlights the Israeli government's restriction of journalist access to Gaza, hindering independent reporting on the ground and fueling concerns about a deliberate information blackout. Albanese's comments, delivered during a Labour caucus meeting, followed a question from MP Ed Husic regarding potential Australian recognition of a Palestinian state. While refraining from providing a specific timeframe, Albanese alluded to Nelson Mandela's famous quote, "It always seems impossible until it's done," suggesting a potential shift in Australian policy toward Palestinian statehood. This statement comes on the heels of Albanese's previous accusation that Israel's blockade of aid deliveries to Gaza constitutes a breach of international law, a charge reiterated following reports of dozens of Palestinian deaths from starvation in recent weeks. In contrast, opposition leader Susan Ley, while acknowledging the complex situation, avoided direct criticism of Israel, instead emphasizing Hamas's role in disrupting aid and urging the group's surrender as a path toward ending the conflict. Independent Senator David Pocock, however, criticized the Albanese government for relying solely on harsher and harsher words, advocating for targeted sanctions against Prime Minister Netanyahu and urging more decisive action. This call for stronger measures is echoed by U.S. President Donald Trump, who publicly urged Israel to allow unrestricted food access to Gaza, emphasizing the undeniable reality of real starvation in the region. Similar concerns were voiced by Coalition Senator James Patterson, who expressed worry about the dire humanitarian situation and its negative impact on Israel's international standing, while acknowledging recent improvements in aid delivery. The escalating crisis has prompted the Australian Greens to push for broader sanctions against Israel, mirroring the measures implemented against Russia following its invasion of Ukraine. This proposal includes targeting members of the Netanyahu government, restricting their travel and financial assets, and extending sanctions to halt the export of goods and materials, including arms, from Australia to Israel. The Greens specifically criticized the government for failing to block exports of crucial parts for fighter jets manufactured in Australia and assembled in Israel. The party's Foreign Affairs spokesperson, David Shoebridge, highlighted the potential impact of these sanctions, emphasizing their ability to disrupt the supply of key components and ultimately hinder Israel's military operations in Gaza. Adding further weight to the international condemnation, two leading Israeli human rights organizations, Selam and Physicians for Human Rights, issued a statement declaring that Israel is committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. This grave accusation underscores the severity of the situation and the urgent need for international action to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people and hold those responsible for the crisis accountable. The contrasting responses from Australian political leaders highlight the complex and deeply divisive nature of the conflict, underscoring the urgent need for a comprehensive and decisive international response to address the humanitarian crisis and prevent further loss of life. The situation in Gaza continues to evolve, demanding sustained attention and a strong commitment from the international community to ensure accountability and protect the rights of the Palestinian population. The debate surrounding Australia's role in this crisis, from imposing sanctions to recognizing Palestinian statehood, is far from over and will likely continue to shape the nation's foreign policy for years to come. The conflicting narratives and perspectives surrounding the unfolding events highlight the complexities and profound ethical dilemmas at the heart of this devastating conflict. The international community faces a crucial test in its ability to effectively respond to this humanitarian crisis and prevent further suffering. The coming days and weeks will be critical in determining the trajectory of the situation and the future course of international action. The weight of evidence, the sheer scale of suffering, and the urgency of the situation